Okay, so in this video, I'm going to talk about Hyprlock for Hyprland. So basically what it's about is it locks your screen, for security purposes. If you're going to move away from your computer, especially laptops, for a while, then you don't want it to be completely open. So what you do is you press your key combination and it locks it. Then afterwards, to unlock it, you just put in your password. Right, so let's open a terminal and a browser. Just want to show you the website. Obviously the Hyprland wiki. There's the Hyprlock little program, and it's got a lot of arguments and so on here that you can use as well, but I really don't care. I just want it to lock and that's it. But yeah, you can look through here, and if you want to do various things, you can. So if you install, let me just check my notes quickly. So when you install Hyprlock, it doesn't create a Hyprlock conf file. Now you need the Hyprlock conf file to set a few settings, I suppose. If you don't create it, it will still work. But when you lock your screen, it will be completely black, and you just have to type your password in the dark and it will unlock, which is pretty weird. But yeah, that is a way to do it. But seeing a black screen, I don't know. When I do to install it's pretty easy. It's just sudo pacman-s hyprlock, and to create the config file, you basically just say, well, let's just copy it out of here because it's so light in here like crazy. Right, let's make it a bit bigger. So it's just touch to create a file. Create it in your local folder .config hyper and then hyprlock.conf. That hyper folder should be there by default because it's part of Hyprland. You just put it in there, and then obviously you can open it. So let's open it, check it out. Nano. And there it is. Now obviously yours will be empty. You can ask Gemini or Grok to populate it for you, because it knows exactly what needs to be in there, and then you can just start playing around with it, or you can just leave it as is. I had to do a few things here because I'm running some different stuff, but the default one should work fine. So all I did was here in background, I put in where it says path, I put in my wallpaper lofi.png. This is the wallpaper of my desktop anyway, so I want it to be the same on the lock screen, but you can have a different wallpaper in there. That's pretty much all I did there. So once that is created, you can now go to your Hyprland file. Hyprland, come on, let's go. And then go to your key bindings, because obviously you need a key binding. Key press to lock your screen. Right, so here's Hyprlock. So it's just bind equals main mod. I use shift and L to actually lock it, because yeah, but you can use any key combination that you want. If you have any keys left, obviously you could put in other keys there. So yeah, when I press super shift and L, it will lock it. So let me just press it. Boom, there it is. It's actually displayed the time here. It must be in that config file somewhere. But you can display other things here as well. I've seen people displaying weather, music, and whatever. So now you can just start typing a password. It opens up a box, and that's it. Boom. So if you want it to lock automatically, which is very strange that Hyprlock doesn't have that included already, but I mean, everything is still new, they're still in development, whatever, I don't know. But you have to install another program called Hypridle, and Hypridle does exactly that. They'll probably put these two, or take the Hypridle settings and put it in Hyprlock and make it one, but for now it's two programs. And yeah, so you have to install Hypridle, same thing, sudo pacman-s Hypridle, install it, and then create a configuration file, because it has its own configuration file. Put it in the same spot, .config hyper, and then put it in there. Hypridle.conf. Yeah, hypridle.conf. Once you did that, you can again just ask Grok or Gemini to populate it for you with the default settings. And then obviously that has to run in your hyprland.conf file in the auto exact. So let's just go to the auto start. Auto start. Where is it now? There it is. Okay, I've commented mine out because I don't want it to lock automatically. But it's just exec once equals hypridle. So when you start Hyprland, it will start this, and it will have a timer in there which you can set. So let's just go to hypridle conf then. So it's hypridle. Okay, there it is. So just lock before sleep, after sleep, lock before session. Anyway, this is stuff that you can play around with, I suppose. But here's the timer, probably the most important thing. So it's on 300 milliseconds, so that's 5 minutes, then it will lock. On timer equals lock session, it will lock the screen, yeah. So this is the listener. And that is basically it. So after 5 minutes, it will lock out, and then you can just log in again. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward. I wonder if they have a... It's just, so Hyprland, Hypridle. Do they have a wiki page for that? Hypridle. It looks like it. Yeah, Hypridle. So you can just check through here. Oh, you can just copy the stuff here if you don't want to use Grok Gemini, and just cut it, paste it into your configuration file. And that is Hyprlock for you. Pretty straightforward. Definitely a must on laptops. Or if there's a lot of people in your house that use the same PC, that type of thing, I don't know, that you don't want them to use. So yeah, like and subscribe if you like this video, and tell me what other plugins, Hyprland plugins you use. Good.